Hey guys, so today is going to be a review day of strip diagrams. We've already talked about strip diagrams once when we did multiplication. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through your work for today, and then attached at the end of this video is the strip diagram lesson that you should have already watched at least once back when we did multiplication. So I'm going to attach that lesson to the end of this video so you can just watch that again. Okay, so for today's work, it's this strip diagram practice, some Google Slides. They look like this. Okay, each slide has a kind of a different activity. So on the first slide, you are looking at your strip diagrams and trying to find which one of these matches. Okay, so let's look here. Here we have 120 total, and we have 80 as a part, and we're looking for the missing part. So because we have a total, we know we're going to either subtract or divide. I don't see any equal groups, so I know I'm going to subtract. So I need to find the equation that is 120 minus 80 equals n, which is this one. So I'm going to drag and, oh, not that, sorry. I'm going to drag and place it on top of that strip diagram model. And that's all you're going to do. You're going to drag and drop and match, okay? And you saw I just kind of messed up something. If you did that, mess up something, just remember to click the undo button, okay? On slide 3, what you are doing is you are finding the missing part, okay? You're finding the missing part. So here we have 95 total and 60 as a part. So in order to find the missing part, we would have to do 95 minus 60. So you may need some scratch paper for this. And so if you use scratch paper, again, make sure you always attach the scratch paper to the work. So 95 minus 60 is 35. So that's n. So we're going to find 35 down here, and we're going to put the letter in there. Okay, so for this one, you would do 125 plus 65. Whatever you would get, you would put the letter P down here, if that makes sense. It's kind of like you're finding this code word. Okay, on slide 4, what you're doing is you're going to read this problem, okay, and you're going to look to find which equation matches this problem. So Jennifer ordered 5 cases of light bulbs. Each case had 25 light bulbs, so that's 5 groups of 25, 5 times 25, which you can see they all show that. When she received the shipment, 19 were broken. So which equation can be used to find B, the number of light bulbs that are left? So we have 5 groups of 25, which they all show. Well, those 19, we're not going to add them. We're actually going to take them away because they were broken. So our equation is 5 times 25 minus 19. So you're going to drag the check mark to the correct equation on this one as well. And it's the same thing for slide 5. Okay, you're reading this word problem and trying to match the equation. Okay, slide 6, you're going to read the word problem and fill in the missing parts. So let's read it together. Aiden had 45 Pokemon cards. He gave his brother 15. Then he sold 10. So he started out with 45. So that's our total. Okay, and then he gave his brother 15, and then he sold 10. So they want to know how many he'd saved for the rest of his collection. So we're looking for this missing part, okay? So after you fill in the strip diagram, you're going to solve for the missing part. So we have 45 total. He gave 15 away. If I have 45 and I give 15 away, I now have 30, okay? Then he sold 10, okay? So if I now have 30 and I sold 10, he's left with 20. So that would be our answer, okay? So that's the orange slide, number 6, and same for number 7. You're filling in the missing parts and solving, okay? Then 8 and 9 are multiple choice questions, okay? So you're going to answer it where it says explain your thinking. You're going to type your answer here, and you can explain why you chose that answer. Same for this, okay? You can type your answer here, like A, B, C, or D, and explain your answer, all right? So those are the directions for this activity. And again, at the end of this is going to be a review lesson over the strip diagrams. Okay, so you have that. You also have your ×8 fact test right here. Okay, make sure when you're doing that, you're timing yourself in private commenting your time. And then if you've been watching all the videos this week, you know I've been giving you a secret word every day. Okay, this is the 4th video this week, so there are 4 secret words. Okay, I'm going to give you the last word here in a second. So you need to go back to the videos, or if you should have been writing them down, type in the word from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the word I'm about to give you. Okay, and then submit. Again, this is for a participation grade. We need to make sure you're watching all of our math videos and math lessons. So today's secret word is Friday. Friday. So when you open this form, today is the 23rd, you would write Friday there. Okay, and then write all your other ones here. All right. So again, if you keep watching this, it'll be a review strip diagram lesson that we've already done earlier this year. And also, you need to make sure, I'll move it up here so you make sure you need to finish your morning work. Okay. Now, like our kids are doing 1 problem a day. Okay, which is what you should be doing, 1 problem a day. Okay, so make sure you are completing your morning work. Okay, I know it gets put out at the beginning of the week and you sometimes forget, but try not to forget about it. All right, that's it for right now. So if you have a question, please let me or Mrs. Racler know. Y'all have a great weekend. See you later. So strip diagrams are models. You've seen these before. You've seen them at least in 3rd grade. And in 3rd grade, your strip diagram models were used to represent adding and subtracting problems. You probably didn't see any that represented multiplication or division problems. And what a strip diagram is, it's a model of an equation. You have a top number and bottom numbers, and some information is going to be missing. What a strip diagram does, it kind of introduces you to the world of algebra, where you have to get an equal number on both sides or solve for x, which is a big deal in algebra. So this is kind of the beginning stages of that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at some strip diagrams and try to decide what kind of equation the strip diagram represents. And again, this is just a model of an equation just to kind of get your mind thinking to that algebraic reasoning, which you're going to have in 5th, 6th, 7th grade. So let's look at these. All right, so a strip diagram, like I said, you have a top row and a bottom row. And the idea is when all of these are filled in, the amount that's on the top and the amount that's on the bottom is the exact same. Okay, just as if I were to write 12 equals 12. Okay, so meaning this line right here, we like to pretend that that's like our equal sign. Okay, so we're trying to balance this out to make it even. All right, so we know, so on this example, this first one, we first see if we have a total bar. And this one does. It has 12 on top. So we know whatever's going on here, whatever goes here, all these 3 things together have to equal 12. Okay? So when we already have a full total, we start with trying to use subtraction or multiplication or division. So we look here, we have 3 boxes, okay? And it looks as though these boxes are the exact same and they each have an X. That means we're trying to find what X equals, and whatever we put in this box will have to go here, here, and here. So these are equal groups. So when we look at a strip diagram that deals with equal groups, we know we're going to multiply or divide. So in this case, since we already have our one part of the equal sign or one part of the strip diagram, we're going to divide, okay? And we look, how many equal groups do I have? Well, I have 1, 2, 3 equal groups. So 12 divided by 3 equals 4. So that means that X, if I were to put 4 here in place of the x, 4 plus 4 plus 4 would equal 12. So this is a balanced strip diagram or balanced equation, okay? So again, we have 12. We divided it equally 3 times to get 4 for x. Okay, so our next one, we're solving for this x. Okay, we have a total right here. So 22. So I said if we have a total, that means we're probably going to subtract from that total or divide. So I don't see any equal groups. And because I don't see any equal groups, I'm not going to divide. Okay, so I'm going to subtract. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 10 and 8. Okay, but it's 10 and 8. So that means it's 10 plus 8. Okay, and 10 plus 8 is 18. So 22 minus 10 plus 8 and is what I'm going to do. But before I do that, I'm going to talk to you about something called the order of operations. And I think I've mentioned this already before. Okay, order of operations it used to be called PEMDAS, but now they're calling it GEMDAS. It's an acronym. GEMDAS. Okay, so what GEMDAS means? Each one of these letters stands for something you do in an equation. This first stands for a group. Like I said, it used to be PEMDAS, and the P stood for parentheses. But we don't always use parentheses. We use brackets. We use other things to group things. So they changed it to a G. So group. And when you group something, you group it by parentheses. In third grade, you learned the associative property of addition, okay, which grouped numbers when you're adding 3 numbers together. So we're applying that same knowledge here. So we do whatever is grouped first, okay? Then E stands for exponent, which is a little bitty 2, which doesn't really, we don't do that much in 4th grade. We don't deal with an exponent in 4th grade. Okay, so we're going to kind of ignore the exponent one. These last 4 are very familiar to us. So again, the G was group, the E is exponents. We're not worried about that one. M, D, A, and S. Okay, these are all very familiar to us. The M stands for multiply, the D stands for divide, and the A stands for add, and the S stands for subtract. So what all this means is when we have a problem that has more than one operation in it, we have to follow the order of operations, okay? We have to follow this order. So we go down the list. G, do I have anything in parentheses? No. Okay. Do I have any exponents? No. Okay. Do I have anything to multiply? No. Do I have anything to divide? No. Do I have anything to add? Yes. So I have to add these 2 numbers before I can subtract. Okay. Before I can subtract. Then I subtract. 22 minus 18 is 4. So that x equals 4. Okay. And if I add 4 plus 10 plus 8, that would give me 22. So this is a balanced strip diagram. Okay. So again, we have to follow the order of operations whenever we have more than one operation in the equation. All right, let's look at this strip diagram. All right, now we're looking for the total bar right here. Okay, again, this bar has to match this bar. So I see I have 3 12s, and those are equal groups. So because I have 3 groups of 12, 3 groups of 12, that is multiplication. 3 times 12 is 36. So A is 36. And if I add 12 plus 12 plus 12, that would equal 36. So this is a balanced strip diagram. Okay. So I'm going to highlight. I'm going to copy that. All right. So let's go to our next ones. We're going to paste the order of operations. All right. So we're looking for Z here. I'm looking for the total bar here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. So 5 5 groups of 9. 5 groups of 9 equal 45. So Z is 45. So these 9s equal 45. This bar equals 45. So it's balanced. It's the same on the top as it is on the bottom. All right, let's look at this one. Now this one looks like we're going to have to look at our order of operations. Okay, so I do have a total bar. So remember I said if we have a total, we're going to start by subtracting or dividing. I don't see any equal groups, so I'm going to subtract. Okay, so 124 minus 24. Okay, but all of these 3 numbers go together. So we're going to have to add these together before we take them away to find this missing piece. So we're going to look at our order of operations. Adding comes first. So I'm going to add 24 plus 80 plus 10. Okay, so 24 plus 80 is 104. 104 plus 10 is 114. Okay, 124 minus 114. So if I do my work to the side, 124 minus 114, 0, 1. This missing piece is worth 10. Okay? All right, let's look at this one. This is very similar to this one, just with different numbers. We have a total bar, which is 87. Okay? We're trying to find what is missing. So we know this together, and this needs to go together. So we're subtracting that. And we're going to put these 3 numbers together. Okay, before we do anything. So we have 12 plus 30 plus 15. Our order of operations say we have to add those first. So 12 plus 30 is 42. 42 plus 15 is 57. Okay, so all those together equal 57. So we're going to have to do 87 minus 57. Okay, 7 minus 7 is 0. 8 minus 5 is 3. So this X represents 30. Okay, all right. Let's go to our next group of numbers. All right, so try and find the missing number. We have to have it match on the top and match on the bottom. So, and I'm going back to these. Of course, there's other ways you can do this. You can add all these first, then subtract without writing all this out. You could do 87 minus 12, then whatever you get minus 30, then whatever you get minus 15, and you should end up with 30. Okay? You could do 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 to get 45. So there's other ways you can solve this as long as you are trying to find, you're just trying to find this missing piece. Okay, so what I'm doing right here isn't the only way you have to write it or you have to solve it. Okay, all right, so let's look at these last 3. We have 34. Okay, so I know I'm trying to find this X. Well, this together is part of 34. So 4 plus 12 is 16. So whatever is left over here is what X is. So I will do 34 minus 16. Which is 18. And you can see 16, if I were to work 16 plus 18 equal 34, so it's a balanced equation. This one is literally exactly like this one, just with a little bit different numbers. So again, we have 34. Trying to find this missing piece. Okay, I'm going to put these 2 together first. You can see they're side by side, so that means they go together. 4 plus 8 is 22. 18 is 22, sorry. 4 plus 18 is 22. So I'm going to subtract 22 from 34, which is 12. So X is 12. All right, the last one is a very simple one. This is probably one you probably saw last year, something similar to it, okay? 366 and 985. We don't have a total. We're looking for a total. We have 2 of these, so tell me what you think we're going to do to these 2 numbers to get this total. we are going to add, so 366 plus 985. 6 plus 5 is 11. 1 plus 6 is 7 plus 8 is 15. 1 plus 9 is 10 plus 3 is 13. So 1,351. Okay, so that's what strip diagrams are. Now, you're not going to have to draw a strip diagram. You're going to just have to be able to read one and match it with an equation. Okay, so you just need to be able to read one and match it with an equation. Okay, which is what you're going to do on your work. You're going to match the strip diagram with an equation with a word problem. Okay, so